Now, before we get started, I just want to tell you what this video is not about. When I started working on creating this video, I shared what I was doing on Twitter, and I got some responses that were pretty similar to the little girl in this picture, going, "You can't promote your products on Pinterest. I heard you're not allowed to promote your own products. I heard that you can't pin your own products." So I want to lay it all right out on the line and let you guys know what we're dealing with. When I talk about promoting your products with Pinterest, I'm not talking about flooding your own Pinterest feed solely with your products. That's not going to get anybody anywhere. What I want to show you guys are some tools and strategies to encourage other people to share your products on Pinterest. Now, just so we're totally clear, I did pull up Pinterest etiquette rules. And number 3 says avoid self-promotion. Pinterest is designed to curate and share things you love. If there's a photo or project you're proud of, pin away. However, try not to use Pinterest purely as a tool for self-promotion. So I want you to know that this video is in no way trying to game the system or get around Pinterest rules in any way. What I want to show you is how to use Pinterest as a really effective marketing and promotional strategy without having to spam everyone who's following you with pins of your products all day long. All right, now that we're clear on that, let's get started. So first off, what is Pinterest? For those of you who maybe have been living under a rock for the last 6 months, let's talk just a little bit about what Pinterest is. Pinterest is a social bookmarking site where users share photos that they find around the web. So what makes Pinterest different than some of the other social bookmarking sites out there is that it's very image-based. It's all about posting and sharing pictures with a minimum of text. Users can group their pins, group the items that they're collecting into different boards. They can categorize them, they can sort them, and then because it's a social site, you can follow other users, you can repin things, you can like them, and then it's integrated with your other social media. So you can push out what you're pinning and what you're liking onto Twitter and onto Facebook. So really what it is it's a tool for connection. And this is the way that I want you guys to think about it as creative business owners. Pinterest is a tool to help connect people with your products and drive traffic back to your site. That's all it is, plain and simple, and I think that bears repeating. Pinterest is a tool to help connect people with your products and drive traffic back to your site. That's what it is. It's not the be-all, end-all marketing solution that anyone might make it out to be. It's just another tool to help connect customers with your products, and that's where it's so valuable. So why does Pinterest matter? Why is this site so important, and why is it getting so much attention in recent months? Well, besides the fact that it's had a huge traffic site, as you can see in this slide here, really it's become a major traffic referral site for people. I'm hearing more and more from people that when they check their site stats, a large portion of their traffic, and in some cases even the majority of their traffic, is coming back to them from Pinterest. So Pinterest matters because lots of people are on Pinterest and lots of people are using Pinterest. The other reason that Pinterest is great for creative businesses like yours is that it's very visually based. So it's really just all about, putting the images out there and really sharing it with people. And I think the most important reason why Pinterest matters is that increasingly people are making purchasing decisions off of things that they're seeing on Pinterest. So you can see when someone pins something on Pinterest, more often than not, they're pinning it from the source, and you can see in the image in the upper left, when it appears on Pinterest, it gives you the source of where it comes from. When you click on that, it sends you directly to the site where the image came from. So if people are pinning products from your online shop, someone, even if they just found the pin on Pinterest, can go back to your online shop. And what I'm seeing over and over and over again is that people are making purchasing decisions based on things they're finding on Pinterest. While no one seems really eager to share hard facts on that, I've seen a lot of anecdotal evidence that people are in fact making purchasing decisions. And I've seen it in my own website. This collection that you can see on the screen is part of my Cosmos line, and I got a nice little grouping of sales specifically from this line right before the holidays. And the only thing that I could get from that, because I hadn't been promoting the line myself, is that it had gotten a lot of traction on Pinterest. So Pinterest really is helping drive sales. The other reason that it's great for a visual business is that it just gives people a different way to find and engage with your products. I think a lot of us as visual creative business owners have seen that, a straight up Google word search is not really the way that people are finding our products. They're finding our products through referrals, they're finding our products through blogs, they're finding our products through places where they just kind of see and stumble upon what we're doing. Not stumble upon as in the social media site, but stumble upon as in they just happen to come across it. And that's really what Pinterest helps accelerate. It takes products and it puts them out into this really easy, casual format that people are consuming like crazy because it's beautiful, it's stunning, it's enjoyable, and it doesn't require you to think too hard. So if you're not thinking about Pinterest, now is the time to start, because it can have some major implications on the way people find and shop for your products. All right, so now let's get to the meat of what we want to talk about, which is how to get your products on Pinterest. And here's the thing. You can get your products on Pinterest even if you're not using the site. And this is really important. I know a lot of creative business owners who tell me, oh, another social media site, I don't have time for that. I can't waste hours every day looking at pretty pictures. That's fine. My goal here isn't to get you necessarily to join Pinterest. It's to help you see how to get your products onto Pinterest so that other people can share them. So the first thing that you have to know is that your products might already be on Pinterest, even if you're not. There's a really easy trick that you can use to check to see if your products are on there. And that's to go into the URL bar of your browser and type in pinterest.com/source/your-URL. So for me, I did pinterest.com/source/shopmeganalman.com. And now I can see all the people who are pinning products from my site. So this gives you a really great idea right off the bat if your products are already appearing on Pinterest. And my guess is at least a few of them are. But if you really want to use Pinterest as a tool for promoting your products, then you have to get people to pin your products and to repin your products more than they already are. And there are a couple of really simple strategies that you can use to do this. The first is give people something great to pin. Here's the thing about Pinterest. When I said it was a tool for sharing stuff, you have to have something great for people to share. If you've got things that aren't interesting, if you've got bad product photography, if you're only writing text on your blog, there's nothing for people to pin on Pinterest, and they're just not going to do it. So the first thing that you can do is make sure that you're creating content that people want to pin, that people want to share. So there are some really key areas of content that people are sharing, and the first one is great product photography. You've heard me say it before if you're a follower of Designing an MBA, but great product photography really can make or break your business. And this is a case where the people with great product photography are just going to see their businesses accelerated on Pinterest because people want to pin these really luscious, beautiful products. So you can see this is an example from Moop Shop, and she has gorgeous product photography and people are pinning it like crazy. So the first place I would start in trying to promote your business on Pinterest is to make sure that you have got really great product photography. The next area where you can really work to use Pinterest to get more traffic back to your site is to make sure you have great life or lifestyle photography. This is something that Something's Hiding in Here does really well. On their blog, they are always sharing beautiful pictures. So if you're taking really great images and of your life, of your studio, of your surroundings, of just anything that's going on, and you want to get those images onto your blog, onto your website, where people can share those on Pinterest, because that's always going to bring people back to your site as well. Then the next area is really great content. One of the things that people are using Pinterest for is to bookmark and remember tutorials, DIYs, how-tos, other great content that they want to remember for later. So this is an example from Daisy Janey, and she designs really great fabric. And so she shares a ton of tutorials on her site about quilting and other products that can be made with her fabric, and those are getting a ton of hits on Pinterest. So think about maybe some style or some how-to content that you can put on your site, because that's going to generate a lot of interest on Pinterest as well. And a really classic example is there was this video that got a lot of traffic on Pinterest about 25 ways to wear a scarf. It was just this really simple video of all these different ways that you could wear a scarf, and people loved that. So people, just like anywhere else on the web, people are really eating up great content on Pinterest. And then don't forget video when you're thinking about Pinterest. As you all know, I am a huge advocate of video as a promotional tool for makers, product designers, craftspeople. So you can share video directly on Pinterest. So I think creating great video is another way to get yourself out there. Just one little caveat that we'll come back to in a minute. At this current moment, you cannot pin Vimeo videos directly onto Pinterest. So that's something to keep in mind. All right, so if you're really thinking about trying to get yourself on Pinterest more, it's important that you spend some time immersing yourself and figuring out what types of images are getting pinned on Pinterest. What are people sharing? Because you want to make sure that your images stack up. So, for instance, if you're trying to figure out what kinds of jewelry people are pinning, you can go onto Pinterest, even if you don't have an account, search for jewelry and see what's being uploaded. Now, then ask yourself, do your products, do your images, do your videos, do they stack up to what's going on online? If what you're doing isn't the type of quality that's being shared on Pinterest, it's time to up the ante, to improve a little bit, to make your content more shareable on Pinterest. The next key is to make it easy for people to pin. You want to make it as simple as possible for people to find an image on your site and get it onto Pinterest. Now, most people who are heavy Pinterest users take the little pin it bookmark and put it in the top of their browser bar in their bookmark window. That way, any site they're on, regardless of, if the person has additional pin it buttons, they can pin something. This is fine, but this leaves it up to your audience to see something and remember that they maybe want to pin it. So I recommend putting pin it buttons in anywhere on your website where you have a lot of images, where you have a lot of content that you want people to share. And what this does is when people are looking at your site, it gives them a very easy reminder, hey, do you like this product? You should put it on Pinterest. It also makes it easier to pin on places like the iPhone, where it's not quite as easy to install that browser button. So you can install some kind of WordPress pin it button, or some kind of pin it button on just about any sites. And you can see I'm getting ahead of myself because the first one I want to talk about is WordPress. So if you are running your blog or your website on WordPress, and I highly recommend that you do, you can install the Pin It on Pinterest plugin. And this plugin is going to do two things. Below every post, it's going to give you this little pin this box where you can write a description and then upload an image so that when someone gets to the bottom of your post and hits the pin it button, that image and that description will automatically populate into Pinterest. Now, you'll notice I mentioned that Vimeo, you can't post Vimeo videos directly to Pinterest. Well, this is a workaround that I found, that I take my Vimeo videos that are posted on my blog and I do just a still picture from the video. Then I upload that video using the Pin This plugin on WordPress, and that way someone can pin my videos even if there's no additional image on the post. So this Pin This button is great because it allows you to control what image is getting pinned from a post, and it also makes it super easy for someone to share what's in your content on Pinterest. So they get to the bottom of your post, they click the Pin It button, and it automatically gives them the little box and lets them pin it and share it. You can also add pin it buttons to any website where you have control of the HTML, anywhere that you can add a little bit of code to the site. If you go to pinterest.com/about/goodies, and you scroll down a little bit, you'll find pin it buttons for websites. And what this allows you to do is add the URL of the web page, the URL of the image, and then it generates a code that you can copy and paste into your site. Using this method, I was able to add Pinterest pin it buttons to my Big Cartel shop. So you can see I just went in, added the product category, added the image, then I went into the product in Big Cartel, and right at the very bottom of my post, I just dumped that code in there, and now I have that pin it button right in my product. This is a really great tool. The disadvantage is that you have to do it manually for each item, but it can really be worth it because it really encourages people to pin your products. And the great thing about this, adding the pin it button to your websites is you can do this to any website where you have control over the HTML. So anywhere you can go ahead and add in a pin it button, whether it's a page, a blog post, a product description, anywhere where you can control the HTML, you can put that in there. And for those of you who might only be selling on Etsy, where the downside is that you can't edit the HTML like that, good news, Etsy has gone ahead and added a pin it button to every product on the site. Etsy is actually realizing that Pinterest is a huge traffic generator for them. In fact, it's their biggest traffic generator now. So obviously, Etsy wants to encourage people to pin products from there as well. All right, once you've made it easier for people to pin your products, why not encourage people to pin your products? And this is an area that people are just starting to dive into, but it can be really great. So if you are producing content, whether it's a blog post tutorial, maybe it's a video, just remind people that if they like it, they should share it on Pinterest. Sometimes even people who are heavy users of these social media sites need a little bit of encouragement, a little bit of reminding that they should put your products up there. If you want to go even a step further, you can really encourage people to pin. For the holidays this year, Lands' End's Canvas brand did a Pin It to Win It contest where they encouraged people to make a Pinterest board highlighting products that they want from the Lands' End Canvas website. And then they chose the winning boards and gave them all $250 gift certificates. So if you really want to encourage people to pin your products, why not give them some kind of incentive, a giveaway, something simple and small that you can use to get your products out there? Because the beauty is that while this contest had a very finite time period, people had to pin by a certain date to be eligible to win, now all of these products are floating around on Pinterest and they're going to get repinned and repinned more and more as time goes by. All right, so if you do nothing else, if you don't want to join Pinterest, you can use those tips that I've shared to encourage people, to help people put your products onto Pinterest. But like any social media, you will get the best results if you engage with it. So not just, not just help people get your products onto Pinterest, but be involved in Pinterest yourself. So if you want to join Pinterest, it's still invitation only. You can request an invitation on the site, or you can ask a friend to send you one. And once you're on there, you can really start to kind of dive into Pinterest, find some people to follow, start making some boards, really kind of dive into the experience of the site. Now, just a reminder, when you're on the site, you can't jump on and be a user and just promote your own products. So you can see I have about 19 boards on Pinterest right now, and there might be 3 or 4 of them that I'll post my products to, and even on those, my products usually aren't the only thing that gets posted. So the idea with Pinterest, just like it is with Twitter or Facebook or anything else, is that you're not promoting yourself all the time. It's about engaging in this community. So I'm always on Pinterest looking for things that I like, repinning stuff that other people have pinned. And what this does is if you're engaging in Pinterest, it also starts to establish you as an authority, as a style authority, as a visual authority, and that can really help generate fans that way as well. So if you've got the time, Pinterest is worth diving into on a deeper level. And even if you don't have the time, I'm a big fan of kind of looking at Pinterest in the off moments. So I'm a huge fan of using Pinterest in the mobile version on my iPhone. When I have a few minutes to steal, I'll scroll through the people that I'm following and I'll repin things. So that's a great way to kind of engage with it in your downtime instead of feeling like you have to spend 2 or 3 hours of valuable studio time just hanging out on Pinterest. But the most important thing that I want you to remember is Pinterest is just a tool. It's just a tool to connect your products with people and to then bring those people back to your website. And so the best way to make Pinterest work for you is still to create great photography, great products, great video, and great content that people want to share. Once you've got that great stuff, just use the tricks I showed you to make it easier for people to promote your products on Pinterest, and you should see a huge jump of traffic from Pinterest to get people back to your site.